Hey, this is Gerry Visca, the publisher of Defyeneurs, and welcome to the Visionaries issue that is kicking off the 2017 new year. And man, are we excited, because today we are live with Paula Morand of London, leadership expert, keynote speaker, best-selling author, and MC. I can go on and on about Paula. Paula, welcome.
Thanks so much, Gerry. It's great to be here.
You know, Paul, I'm really excited. You've got some extraordinary things on the go with this new book that you have on the go, which we're going to get into, and just overall, your infectious smile, it just makes me want more of Paula Morand. So as we get into it, you know, there's a quote that you share here that I want to share with listeners. It goes like this: "We desperately need visionary leaders to help people see the relevance and purpose of what they do and strive to do it better." I love that. So, you know, share with us, why does the world need visionaries now more than ever?
Well, I think you and I would both agree, Gerry. We're in a real season, I would say especially in the last 15 years, in the last decade for sure. There's a real season of fear. There's this underlying uncertainty that's happening not only in our own nation, but I believe globally. And I just believe now more than ever, people are wanting to cling to hope. They're wanting to cling to possibility. They want to see opportunities, not only for themselves, but for their families. And they want to know that they're validated and their life is worth something. And I think if we can inspire people in the work that you do with Defyeneurs and in each one of us respectively in our own passions and skill sets, you know, we're all lending a hand of raising the consciousness, raising the potential, and helping people to, be called to action to something and not just sit back with apathy and wait for somebody else to do it.
I love it. I love it. I just, I love how you share people want to know that, their life matters, and I love this whole idea of raising potential. I was recently at your book launch. I had the real privilege of being a part of witnessing just, the transformational change that you're making. And I'm really excited about this new book, Bold Courage. And, there's a quote that you share: "I push them to dream big and to take bold action for the betterment of themselves." So I want to get a bit into this book. Just share with us your excitement around it and your intention, for inspiring this new ROI in the world with this book.
Oh, thanks so much. I'm so excited about the theme Bold Courage, and, how owning your awesome changes everything, and it really does. Like, for over 2 decades now, I've just had the complete honor and so humbled to walk the journey with thousands of people, whether it be individuals or with teams. There's something to be said when you can help people, not me tell them, but help people to walk the journey to come to that understanding and realization that me as an individual, I've got something to say. I've got something to offer this world. I know that if I put my skills and abilities in the right lane, I can action those and put myself in a place where I can affect the world in a bigger way. And the same goes with organizations today. There's so much happening with organizations that are on the decline, trying to manage change due to technology, due to resources and finances, due to, consumer buying patterns are shifting, and all of these things that are playing an impact. I love the idea of, I just decided, it's time to have some bold courage, that despite fear or in spite of uncertainty of what's happening in the future, we all, every one of us, plays a part in the success or the non-success of our futures. And case in point, can I share with you a story? So for about 7 years, I decided that I was going to convert a coaching methodology that I had been using for about 18 years. And I was going to build a software solution that was going to start to measure real-time productivity and satisfaction, and also to use it as a leadership tool to help really preempt and take action on problems that were starting rather than waiting until they were toxic and in a really bad place. And it's really interesting because along the way, I was able to interview a lot and work with a lot of leaders and organizations. And I remember I had a conversation with a government employee one day. I went in with, was hired to go in and do some consulting in one of the larger government organizations. I remember a leader said to me one day, I really need you to help me. How do I get this person to do her job and not sit at her desk and knit all day long? And I stopped for a minute and I started thinking about that, going, how are we even to this place where employees come to to do their job every day and they're so shut off from the role that they've been hired to do that they're just going to ignore everything and everyone and just sit and knit at their desk. And I couldn't grasp that. And I started thinking about it, and I started thinking, how low or how long has her issues not been heard or dealt with to make this woman get to this place? Mm-hmm. And so I went from there and then started having more and more interviews and just realized there's so many issues that are probably small things that if we actually started to increase our communication capabilities and started to be able to talk to our people, lead our people, show them the potential and why we need you on this journey, things could shift and really be so much different, than this simple little story that I shared with you.
I love it. It's a great story. It's fantastic. I mean, your whole vision, just your empowerment of people and helping them become their best. It's truly inspiring to me. There's another quote in your profile that you share here. It goes like this: I want to see people strive to do a better job, not just as a corporate survival mechanism, but as a way to recognize their own value. So I just love that. I love that tying to that story. Share with us, what is the difference you wish to make in the world, Paula?
I think there's something to be said that life on this earth is more than money. I think it's really to be for me, I'm driven by being of service to others. And in the space that I work in, I'm really invested into really helping people to understand that you are your own brand. The character of who you are, the ideals and the value systems that you operate your life by, how you engage and communicate with others, whether it be your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community, all of that matters. And it's really an interesting process when I am honored to walk the journey to help someone see the gifting and the abilities that they already have within them and help them to frame it up and to put it in a context where they become so confident and so fired up and ready to take on the world and the people that they so want to affect and make a difference to. That shift is incredible, and it oftentimes does not take very long. I'm a career specialist by trade and have worked with entrepreneurs for a very, very long time. And, belief in ourselves, oftentimes we have to get out of our own way. We can't see our potential as much as other people can see it. Wouldn't you agree, Gerry?
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
Yeah, and that's why magazines and initiatives like what you're doing with Defyeneurs is so, intriguing to people and fascinating to read because, ordinary people can see themselves stepping into, oh my gosh, I aspire to do what that person's doing, and knowing that our stories mean something.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. The other day we were looking up owning your own awesome in the dictionary, and there's a picture of Paula Morand. That's definitely what I'd like to see in dictionaries. So I want to stay in this. I love this owning your own awesome. I just think that's fantastic. You've certainly owned your own awesome, and that's another reason why we're really excited that you're gracing the inside cover. You're kind of leading the pack in this Visionaries issue. And so, what simple actions can listeners today start taking to just get on that path of owning their own awesome?
Well, when I was putting the book together and trying to decide what does that look like, my whole year in this year, I've been really digging in the last couple of years around the idea of perspective and the lens in which I see the world, the lens in which I see myself, and, how I'm really doing what I'm doing. And is it the best way? And when I was going through challenging myself, especially this year, I've been challenging my thinking in everything and how I am processing information. And I just realized, you know what, Paula, it really is. There's so many times where self-esteem may be low, or we may be in this place of, self-loathing and not feeling good enough. And I'm the first one to laugh that, I kind of like to run the 80-20 rule as far as my image, and 80% put together, but there's 20% chance I'm having a bad hair day most days, or not pulled together totally, and that's okay. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to own my awesome at all costs, and that means simply I'm going to step into what I am great at. I'm going to step into the belief that I have within myself that I'm going to celebrate what's good about me and stop letting the things that are barriers or perceived things that are holding me back be the reason why I do not do something, be the reason why I refuse to say yes to something. I want to step in and be able to take on the world. And just because I don't feel like I'm perfect or ready even or organized in the best way possible, or even my image is put together, it doesn't matter. I'm going to own my awesome where I'm at right now, here today, and I'm going to go for it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Every year, Paula, we always create this, I'm a big fan of a manifesto, and it's another reason why we're excited about 2017 and, the year of Visionaries. As I look at your work, it's so intriguing and it's exciting. So what's next for Paula Morand? What's 2017? What's that vision and beyond look for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, I kind of operate by a couple of things. I'm always in a place of cultivating curiosity, whether it's through collaboration with others or coming up with new ideas. But 2017, 2018, for me, is really about the idea of helping people to dream big, be bold. About to go on a North American tour, as well as, looking at taking some of our own tribe of amazing community people on a number of missions around the world, and really just helping to do the same work we've been doing for years. And that's, be the behind-the-scenes cheerleader of lifting people up and helping them to build great brands, and to give them their voice back so they can go and change the world in their respective ways.
I love it. I love it. You're certainly a fantastic cheerleader, and it's another reason why we're honored to have you in this issue. There's a quote you share, I really love it. It goes like this: we need to unleash our imaginations and our confidence and envision new ways that we can work with each other and with machines to create value. So, Paula, share with us, what do you want to be remembered for creating?
I would say that people that have gotten to know me through the years would say that I've been a great, say, instigator for them, or given them permission to dream again. That I'm an ideas person, so I can look at somebody and probably give them a whole lot of ideas of something that they could do. It's just what they decide to own as that's a good idea for me, and apply it to their lives. So I would hope that the value that I bring into the world is that I've always been willing. I think willingness is people underrate the power of being willing to say yes, willing to act, just the idea of willingness. Be ready, ready to be intentional and do something. And I think the way that I've been able to change the world is that I've been willing to try things over and over and over again, and come to the table in a different way, trying to be creative and really trying to pull in stakeholders and different partners and really engage community together to affect and change the world.
It's beautiful. It's fantastic. Paul, as we get ready to close off this live interview, I want to share something with you that I was very touched to see this amazing book that you've just recently published, just under the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Was that your son holding the book?
Oh, yeah, that was my son. Yeah,
and,
that was really nice of him.
Yeah, I was really touched by that, and especially as I see, just the connection to inspiring people like yourself to to their family. My last question for you will be, what will your son say about you? What will your family say about how Paula Morand lived her life?
That's a great question. Family is my driver. It's everything to me. It's the reason why I feel supported and secured, and I can take risk, and I can go out and I can do what I do. And oftentimes they will play a part and be in the midst of that. I think it's interesting because my 23-year-old son is traveling the world right now, living out his dream as a singer-songwriter after university, and I think we have a job to do to be inspirations to the generation coming up behind us. And that's not about always telling them what they should do, because they need to find out that journey on their own. But what if we could just live our own journeys and live it out? And then to me, it circles right back to the character of who we are, the motives in which we come to the table, that it's not always about us, it's about others, our character and our values and our ideals and our personality, and that we're kind and we're supportive and we validate others, and we don't forget our kids, but we support our kids, and we tell them to fly, and we tell them to, never forget their dreams. And so I hope with all four of my kids and, my granddaughter's coming up, that, they will look at me and say, you know what? You gave me something to think about. You gave me some ideas, and that if you can do it, then I can do it. Maybe they'll, and I'm sure they'll do it even better. I hope.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I call it inspiring the world to be bold. I love this, being bold. Paula Morand of London, absolutely extraordinary. The inside cover of the Visionaries issue. On behalf of Defyeneurs, everyday people doing extraordinary things. Paula, we want to thank you for contributing your amazing and just beautiful energy and vision to this issue of Defyeneurs. Thank you.
Thank you so much.